you are sick, you are not going to a doctor. You say God will heal you.
Is that Nigeria's situation?
Nigeria's situation is that we are waiting for miracle to happen. Manna no longer fall from heaven.
But
in the old days, manna will fall from heaven. It has never fallen for centuries.
Okay, if you say we are waiting for manna to fall from heaven,
yes.
I mean, is it the people now or the leadership of this country?
I'm talking about leadership. President Muhammad Buhari doesn't have the first 11 to manage the economic team. I have said it in the past 2 months, since June. We have our best. Politics is gone. Look, if you go to Garki modern market here, nobody will ask you. The woman selling vegetables or gari or yam will not ask you, are you APC or PDP? So that you have a different price. As it's penning PDP, those who voted for Buhari, it is penning as it's penning APC, those who voted for Buhari, it is penning PDP, those who didn't vote. So that's why my position has always been, once elections are over, it is unpatriotic for any Nigerian not to support his chief executive. Just a minute. If you pray for a chief executive to fail, you are praying for your country to fail. So my conviction is that you must at all times support your chief executive, even when you don't agree with him in everything. I have mentioned names. We know them that can help revive this economy. We don't have a good team. We don't have a good Minister of Finance. She doesn't understand it. The man in Central Bank is playing calculus with our monetary policies. If I say it, this cap will not fall off. Just the line. And we have capacity, human capacity, that can fix it. And we keep trying people that are incompetent, that don't understand the economy. We are going deep into depression. Because if you are sick, you don't want to cure yourself, you are waiting for God to cure you, and you have drugs, you refuse to take it, you're gonna die.
Now you're not the only person who has canvassed the same views that you're airing right now. So what do we do as a nation at this point in time? How do we get the authorities to do what is right?
President should remove them or reassign them. I have mentioned them.
How do you get the president to do that? Because people have been talking.
Let me not pretend. Soludo. I mentioned Rwani in my previous interviews. They brought him in. It's not enough. But to Tommy, Professor Yayi, Chichi Ashwe, we have them. Okay, if it must be APC, what is Fola Abiola? I am talking of economists that has international reputation. If you mention their name, the international money market, we say, oh, that's good. I mentioned Okonjo-Iweala. Key her into this project. Don't give her a job, but let her buy into it. For just one reason. One reason. Why Obasanjo kept him. Why Jonathan kept him. In the international financial system, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala knows the door to knock. I'm repeating this for emphasis. She knows the door to knock, especially under this situation. And there is no door she has ever knocked that didn't open. You can't be doing this thing as if it is a family affair. Our people are dying of hunger. People are exchanging their children for rice. You can't put something on the pot and walk out, come back and see it. We are not doing like that in this country, from the north to the south. We are being turned into a pauper. So the president cannot continue to pretend as if this economy can be revived under the president's economic management.
Nigerians have been asking, if Jonathan left and the country was rated as the fastest growing economy in Africa under his government as the number 14 fastest growing economy globally. At what point in time did it get this bad? At what point in time did we retrogress?
You see, in the economic financial system, management of economy of a nation is an international game. You don't take somebody who has no idea, that is never known anywhere, and make him Minister of Finance, Governor of Central Bank, and so on and so forth. Before November, this September, right? Before November, dollar will hit 500 naira. Before December, it should be between 600 and 700. We should be hitting 1,000 by February. Write it down. They don't understand it. They're applying book economics. It doesn't work here. It doesn't work here. Look at the TSA, for example. That was Jonathan's government. But they did not ask, why did President Jonathan, not implement this fully? You do it gradually to stabilize the markets, to stabilize the economy. You don't move all the funds from the banks and expect magic to happen. When they start sacking, he said, don't sack. Why will I not sack? Are you going to pay their salaries for me? I read the governor of Central Bank yesterday. He was saying Nigerians should learn how to consume made in Nigeria goods. Very cheap talk. What are we producing here that he wants us to use? These are things you do gradually. Before you move from one system to the other, do an evaluation of that system. What was the argument behind this position? It's not a question of it was done by the past government. We are not going to take it. And after 2 weeks, they come back to it. Look at how they've been tossing the currency. Tossing the currency. Now you have killed the main sector. That's why today, everything is jumping by the day. You now ban importation of everything. Even things you are not producing. Without alternative. And you have also made your budget based on what you got last year by improving on what you get this year. You forgot, as an economist, as a man in charge of budget and planning, that with this thing I have done, by restricting importation on certain goods, it will affect my income. Go to the Papa War for Tinkan. The containers are no longer coming. So even the money projected can never be realized. Simple economics. And then you sit down there, postulating things that will never work in the economy, using our economy as an experiment that will not work. It should continue to pain us because we have the capacity to fix it, even as it is today. Even as it is today, it is just the responsibility of President Buhari to decide whether actually he wants this economy to go on or not. We cannot keep quiet. It's affecting us. Most of us have not done business since this government came in. Not business in politics. Business as we do, those who bring certain things down, they have just shut their shops.
Okay, so you are of the school that believes that this is a question of not having the right capacity. Do we agree on that?
That contributes over 70% of the problem.
Okay, people have also said, why is it that every time Buhari comes into government, Nigeria goes into recession? In 1984, he was around, Nigeria went into recession. Now he's back in 2015, 2016, Nigeria has come back into recession.
I read a joke on the internet last week. They said the president has, that he should go for deliverance. I read it as a joke.
I don't know.
I'm saying what I read as a joke. I said, has it gone that far? And the person started postulating. 84, this time, this was the economy, this was how he came and all that. I said, no, let us not go to the realm of spirituality. It is in the hands of the president. And those of us who were not with the president, as at the time of the election, are ready and willing to assist. There are many Nigerians that have put the election behind them. And that's why we are making this suggestion. The only thing in this country, or two things that he has done right, is one, the Boko Haram, which the Chief of Army Staff Suntai is working around the clock to cleanse. He has done well there. But the only one he has is anti-corruption war, EFCC. That's the only one that is standing for the government today. Maybe because of the caliber of the person he put there that is working every day to fight it. So there is nothing else. The economy is zero. Other things, zero. Infrastructure, zero. When you have people with capacity in a country of 200 million people, you say we don't have the best brains? We have many first class in economies that have been tested internationally. And they're just sitting there watching. Because they have not been called upon. Put an economic team. Bring all these people together. Lock them in a room. Give me a solution. And give them targets. They will get close to that place. No matter who introduced these incompetent people we have in offices, you should look at them in the face and say, sorry, this thing is not moving well. Let me try other hands. We are talking about our lives. It's not about whether they'll be happy or not. They can go home and run the economy the way they like. But we are talking about what is affecting 200 million people in this country. So we cannot fold our hands and watch mediocrity and perfidy take the center stage of the running of the economy.
Usually in a situation like this, opposition political parties are supposed to come up and profile their own solutions and at least, man pressure, play the proper role of the opposition. What has happened to the opposition?
Don't blame the opposition. Don't blame the opposition. For example, PDP has not gotten its acts together. So leave the one by the side. And many of them are afraid of reprisal attack, witch hunting. Should they speak?
Because their hands are not clean?
I don't know.
What are they afraid of?
I don't know. PDP, I know they have not gotten their acts together. For the other parties, some of them, you should also ask me, why is the civil society quiet? Where are those who every day bombarded Jonathan with all sorts of things? Where have they become deaf and dumb? They're not speaking. Because they were wittingly and unwittingly involved in the making of this government. Even though they are not happy with the situation, even though they have become disappointed, but they cannot voice it out because it will amount to double speak. But we are talking about our country. I have come openly to speak that I'm supporting the president. I'm supporting his anti-corruption war. I'm supporting so. It doesn't mean that he has won me or I have gone to his side. No. I'm still partyless. But the president must be told the blunt truth about the state of our economy. They met 2 days ago, last week on Wednesday. They came out with nothing about the economy. Federal State Council. They came out with nothing. The economy is collapsing. It's going. And this is the time for every Nigerian to wake up and tell the president, Mr. President, take decisions now. If not, I hope Nigerians will not resort to eating their fellow citizens. Because it's getting to that point. We don't have competent hands running our economy. That contributes 70%. Forget about all this blame game. I also saw another write-up when we didn't see the eclipse based on the clouds position that it was PDP that withheld the eclipse. It's a joke in the media. But you see, it's a joke. But they are sending a message that the blame game should be over. Let's face issues. Let's revive our country. Let us get the country out of where it is. We cannot continue to pretend as if everything is moving. Nothing is moving. I've just given you 2 areas that the president has scored very high marks. Anti-corruption war and the security. But the economy is critical. A hungry man is an angry man. A hungry man is an angry man. We cannot, be in a situation whereby we know that this is wrong. We are going that way for pride. And you are aware that a plane will crash. You have been told that the engine of this plane is not good, that the pilot is not well trained. And yet you boarded the plane. Yes, you boarded the plane. President Muhammad Buhari, in the name of God and in the name of the 200 million people he is president for, changed his team in the economy, along the economic side, and assemble all these eggheads together, they will bring solution in less than no time. They are tested, they are known internationally, and the solution will come. And the problem is those who are sitting there, they don't ask anybody. They don't even seek for advice. So that it will not be seen that they don't know. Indeed, they do not know.
Now, this is a question that almost every concerned person is asking. We know there's a problem with the economy, a great problem. People have been making suggestions. People like you have suggested some persons, yet nothing has been done. Who will bail the cat? Particularly that your position appears to be silent, whether in conspiracy or out of fear. Who will bail the cat? And how do we bail the cat?
The President Muhammadu Buhari was elected president. The buck ends on his desk. Why are we saying this? We are not used to keeping quiet when things are done wrong.
So how do you get to
I'm coming. He's here. He listens. I'm aware the president watches television. I'm aware he reads newspapers. If he doesn't, some people may draw his attention to it, that these people are against you again. At least he may like to read it. But I have said it. You are not helping President Muhammadu Buhari by keeping quiet and telling him that everything is right. When in your heart of hearts, you know he's failing. We can only help him by telling him the blunt truth and what his advice on what he should do. He has an option of third opinion. He has an option of third opinion. We were the biggest economy in Africa. Now we crashed 1 year after. Why would you say that it was the other administration that took us there before they left that crashed it? You said we have recovered all the money. And all the money you recovered cannot do anything. You took the whole money from out of the banking system. It's never done anywhere in the world. You can return the money, but put conditions to it. Because these banks are also not helping Nigeria develop. They are part and parcel of the conspiracy to underdevelop Nigeria, the banking sector in Nigeria. Emefiele was chief executive of the bank. They were part of it. And you made him governor of Central Bank. The policy will be the policy to continue to make them have more money. Those of them who had $1 million not long ago now have $430 million. Are you getting what I'm saying? Those Emefiele and his friends who were in the banking system that had 1 million. So they wanted to get up to 5 or even 1,000. So that with your $1 million, you may be having 500 million naira. But in actual fact, the difference in the purchasing power in Nigeria is not too wide. But they've got more money. So it is not going to work. It's not going to work. Emefiele, if I were in his shoes, I would resign. Because the thing has, his policy have reduced this country to rubble. Ditto, the Minister of Finance. It will not work. It's not going to work. I have given you projections where the naira will land. November, it will get to 500. If it doesn't get there before then. Because there is nothing in place.
Or if something is not done.
And if something is not done, drastic is not done. You release $200, $300 million today, it disappears into thin air. It goes back to the same people. Right? Did you listen to the Emir of Kano? Why they are now attacking him? Blunt, patriotic Nigerian. Very patriotic. He said this money gets into the hands of people who don't need it. They are talking of diversifying. What are you diversifying? How would they diversify? The industries, there is no single effort that has been made since May 29 to get these industries back. We have lost close to 2 million jobs since they came to power. No industry, no single industry. And then how are you going to create employment? Every day they are talking about agri. What will agri do for us, for example? It's just to help us eat our foods without importing food. The main money, the main diversification in the agro industries that will emanate from it.
A former member of Nigeria's House of Representatives and a member of the All Progressives Congress, Solomon Edoja, is deeply concerned about the state of the nation at these austere times. He's also not happy about the crisis in the two major political parties. He spoke to AIT.
So we must appeal to Nigerians to be sympathetic with this government, because Nigeria has been living on falsehood. During the last campaign, I'm sure Nigerians will recall that the PDP-led administration campaigned vigorously and made it clear that Nigeria has the largest economy. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Finance